Next up we have David Breen, also known as Captain Forktongue, with his friend Michael Bloom, performing Haunted Pirate Ship. This was taped at Right On Revere TV studio, so let's enjoy this clip.
I'm Minstrel Mike. I'm here with Captain David Forktongue to bring you more tales of piracy and the supernatural here on SAL Show. Let's enjoy the video.
Let me tell you a story about a pirate. He came out of the Nova Scotia area. Now, this pirate was known as Captain Goldlimb Greenwell. Now, Captain Goldlimb Greenwell was born Edward Greenwell. Although very few people knew him by his birth name, he became known as Goldlimb Greenwell. Now, this all came to pass when, as a pirate captain, he came right into range with a ship from the Royal Navy. And he and his crew attacked the Royal Navy ship. Aye, but they were taken prisoner. Now, the men were strong, though, and determined to kill the Royal Navy men and steal whatever treasure they could. So, a battle broke out between Captain Greenwell's crew and the Royal Navy's crew. And in the process of the battle, Captain Greenwell's crew managed to steal a whole treasure belonging to the Royal Navy. A whole treasure full of gold. Now, as they secured the treasure back aboard their ship, there was Captain Edward Greenwell, left alone to battle the captain of the Royal Navy ship, a man by the name of Samuel Cutler. And the two men drew their swords and fought back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Aye, but Samuel Cutler had Captain Edward Greenwell cornered, and he wrenched the sword out of his hand, and he said to him, "You're mine, you scallywag of a human being." And then he drew his sword, and he cut the arm off of Captain Edward Greenwell. He sliced off his whole right arm, and he was proud. He thought he had old Greenwell right there where he wanted him. But Greenwell snuck his way back to the edge of the ship, and he jumped off into the water. Aye, now ye may think that he would have drowned being trapped there in the water on only one arm. Aye, but Greenwell was a very good swimmer. He managed to swim his way back to his own ship on only one arm. The crew carried him aboard, and they escaped capture by the Royal Navy. Now the question that remained, what was to be done about Greenwell's missing arm? Now, as a pirate, the first thing you would do when you joined up as part of a pirate crew, you signed a piece of paper entitled the Articles. Now, this was your contract stating that ye agreed that if treasure was found or stolen and brought aboard a ship, the captain gets his share first, which is whatever he wanted. Now, there were ways to get bonuses. The way you get a bonus was you'd have to come back from battle missing an eye, a hand, or some other kind of body part in battle. Now, old Greenwell was aware of this, and he was a fair man, but he knew what it stated in the Articles. Now, not only does he get his share first, however, he gets the biggest bonus for return to the ship on only one arm. So he takes his share of the treasure and the bonus, and he turns it over to the ship's carpenter. And the ship's carpenter melts down the gold and shapes it like an arm and hand. And the ship's carpenter, being a very skilled man, it takes the arm and attaches it to the body of Edward Greenwell. From that day forward, Edward Greenwell became known as Captain Goldlimb Greenwell. Now, it did come to pass that old Goldlimb did eventually become captured by the Royal Navy. Now, he was found guilty of his crimes of piracy at his trial, and it was decreed that he was to be executed by hanging. Now, they hung his body. Now, after a pirate was executed by hanging, they would then usually take the pirate's body, dip it in hot tar to preserve and mummify it. Take it, tar and feather it, and have the body facing out towards the ocean. The body would hang there until it decayed to nothing but bones. A very common practice. It was known as gibbeting. And it was to serve as a warning to all seafarers of what would happen should ye even think of turning to piracy. Now, Samuel Cutler was the man who eventually did capture Goldman Greenwell. And he went to his superiors and asked if he would be the one to supervise the gibbeting process. The superiors agreed. And the first thing he did was that he went to the soldiers guarding the body of Goldman Greenwell, still hanging from the noose. And he sent the soldiers home for the night. Then he took a knife, climbed up on the gallows, and sliced down the body of Goldman Greenwell. He took it to the basement of his home, laid the body down on a table, drew his sword, and he sliced off the golden arm of Goldman Greenwell. He then took the body and placed it into a sack, placed the sack into a lifeboat, and then rowed out to the middle of the ocean. And then he took the body and dumped it in the ocean. And then he sailed home that evening and sat up, holding and caressing the arm of Captain Goldman Greenwell. "It's mine," he repeated. "The golden arm is mine!" And then eventually he drifted off into a contented sleep, looking greedily at peace, holding the arm, the golden arm of Captain Goldman Greenwell. And then he woke up in the middle of the night to a series of thumping noises around his house. Thump, thump, thump. "Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?" And then a voice cries out, "Where's my golden arm? Where's my golden arm? Who's there?" He cried out, "Where's my golden arm? Where's my golden arm?" And there before him, hovering above him, was the spirit of Captain Goldman Greenwell. "You stole my golden arm!" Minstrel Michael, if you please.
I would just like to say that this is the Captain David Forktongue Horror Story Hour on SAL show.
They are both great performers, Norris, and they did a good hosting job.